European Union discussing using digital blockchain IDs. Would you trust that? Bitcoin trying to go to the moon. Seems like the market's trying to get back to what we might consider normal? What? Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, all you happy hashers out there? I see we got Rude dropping on in here. We got Automatic Beats in his house. We got Alex Pyro. What's going on? What's going on, all you awesome people? Don't forget to smash that lizardy like button as you're sliding on in here. If you're new here, hit the bell notification and hit the subscribe button. You know what to do. You didn't just stumble onto this channel for no reason. You know what you're here for. You want to know what's going on in the mining world, what's going on in the crypto world. So let's kind of start digging into this, guys. Yo, what bam. So we got Bitcoin taking a tear, guys. It's like I've been kind of paying attention just because I'm like, how much did I call this? I'm actually kind of surprised on how much this is following my data set. It's probably right, like 60-ish% of the time. I would say my data points will point me in the right direction for at least predicting movement. Not always telling me correct directions on things, but it usually gets me close enough to make a good educated guess in the long run. Am I actively trading? Oh, hell no. I'm trying to set up a company, trying to set up a family, trying to set up a mining facility, guys. I got better things to do right now than sit in front of a computer and day trade all the time, right? Some other people are a little bit better, but I would say that, it's like, there are people out there like my man Jay. He kicks it back probably. Well, he's paying attention to more of the markets. I would say that he's got 65-ish, 70% of the time that he's correct on his calls. Which you start getting into that range, you're a damn good trader. All right. Between 40 and 50% of the time, you're a novice trader. You're not like a pro, but you're not a newbie. It's more of like your hobbyist trader. It'll be 40 to 50% of the time he's going to make a good call. If that person that was like a hobbyist trader makes that 40 to 50% range in correct calls, if he were given the opportunity to do more research, he could improve from there. It's like you're talking about somebody who already understands. And then you've got your people who are really bad and newbie traders that are going to be in any of the ranges below that 40% range. That's those people that you just look at them and go, yeah, don't quit your day job. I just don't have enough time to put enough, how can I put it, enough research into the market to have a better viewpoint. Because at the end of the day, your guess is only as good as the amount of data that you're able to consume and process properly. I can give you all the data in the world, but you'll be like a deer in a headlight. It'll be like, oh my God, noise, oh, right? It's trying to figure out what data set points that, and say each trader doesn't look at all the data set points. They're looking at ones that they like, it works for them. And you'll never find a guru. Nobody is a guru in any space. I don't care if it's traditional stock markets or whatnot. It doesn't matter. Just like, there are no such thing as a fortune teller that's going to be able to tell you your future. There's just things that just defy logic. But if you can get into a range where, your guesses are pretty decent, then you could sit there and when it's like you can almost sit there and go, wow, it's playing out to where I was thinking and a little bit better. It's like, wow, I'm happy about this. We tickled right off the, what is this? The very, about the top was about 25,200 ish. We tickled off that top. So I mean, like that's a pretty decent movement candle. We've had a pullback because there are people in all of these ranges that are going, I'm pulling my profit. There are people who bought it at the $2,500 range, $2,400 range, right? And these are the people who they're in the market, but they're like, yeah, I'm not getting wrecked any further. It looked like I was a genius for a little while. And then by the time I turned around, it was at 15,000 and my wife was mad at me. You see where that kind of goes. I mean, it's not so much people who don't believe in the market. It's people who don't have the ability to stay in the market for big violent swings. They need predictable upticks, and this is such a new market, not going to happen. For all of us people who are, mining a lot of these proof of work coins, and we see a lot of these violent moves, it could be a good thing and a bad thing for us while we're trying to trade into Bitcoin, or whatever, other coin that you might be trying to get into. I only promote the Bitcoin side of it. I tell people if you consistently trade into Bitcoin over the long term, you tend to win further. Your savings go further. Yes, there are a lot of people that I know that were in the Hex community that were like, oh, we're making so much more money than you proof of work people. And I'm like, cool. And they're like, yeah, we have our stuff locked up for 5 years. And I'm like, so what you're saying is you think you're outpacing mining in the next 5 years? And they're like, well, we're already doing that. They're not now. Anybody who couldn't pull their money out that was locked up fast enough, they lost out. So it's like Nathan Pyle, BTC hyper Bitcoinization is going on. My man, you know what's up, Nathan. You know what's up, dude. That is true. Hyper Bitcoinization is coming. It starts off as a small little place that you would like, who cares if they're doing that? Well, we got that. El Salvador. Legal currency now. El Salvador. Their economy is actually doing better. I give them a round of applause for that. I wish I can go down there and visit the country, especially since Nayib Bukele has cleaned up the country, and something that we're unable to do here in this country, which is get a hold of the gang system. And the gangs in El Salvador were extorting the people of millions of dollars per year. So, I mean, without the gangs extorting the people as badly as they used to, the country is now thriving. There's a good economy going on now. I love it. And Bitcoin is helping out with that for sure. And whenever these people that are, especially like in El Zonte Beach, Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador, these people are seeing this and they're going, woohoo! Good times happening again, right? Because they're living on this Bitcoin. But it's like it's like you guys know me. I mean, for anybody who's been around here for a little while, I mine shit coins for Bitcoin. I do not hodl any of these altcoins. It's not Bitcoin. I will sit there and it's cheaper for a smaller capital, a smaller capital extensive mining operation can be set up with GPUs at a far cheaper rate, and not be in fully on ASIC side, because the ASIC side is capital intensive. And I'm slowly making that transition over into a Bitcoin mine. But as of right now, GPUs are helping to fund that Bitcoin mine to be able to launch. So unfortunately, shitcoins are going to help a Bitcoin mining facility completely take off, and we're going to be sitting there and allowing all of you awesome people in the community actually send your gear, whether you're sending us ASICs or GPU rigs. So if you want to send us Bitcoin ASICs, we're going to have a whole Bitcoin ASIC room set up. We have a half a megawatt worth of power coming in here. We're just waiting on contracts and moving the project forward. We have our landlord that, oh my God, I love our landlord. She's amazing. And she is willing to help us out to get everything going. So, oh my God, like the next time I go out to the facility, I've got to ask her if it's okay if I hug her. She's just that awesome. I'm just saying. But yeah, we'll be allowing people to come in, drop GPU rigs off. Of course, they have to be in server cases. The deployment has to be as if I'm deploying ASICs. I set it down. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room. And all I have to do is plug power, Ethernet in, and turn it on. You know, that I want it to be as easy to deploy as an ASIC. I'm a Bitcoin ASIC miner. It's like, yes, I've been in the GPU side of it, but I got my taste of ASICs so like very early on in my mining career, and have absolutely loved the idea that they are plug and play, guys. You know, less muss and fuss. They are energy efficient for the amount of power they use at the time that they were designed. So like anything, they get outdated over time. Some faster than others, unfortunately. But with Bitcoin, the leaps and bounds on the generations are not that far apart right now. So, I mean, there are a lot of generations to be able to drop into, but it's hard to do that at home. Hence why I now have a facility, and I am running Bitcoin ASICs directly. So I want to get more, but slow process. What up, Golden Wolf, coming in with the helicopters. Yo. So it's like I mean, that's just how I want to run the facility, is that eventually, you know, it's like, yes, I might be hosting other people's gear, but eventually what I'm running is going to be pure Bitcoin ASICs. I want to get to that level. That's just my end goal. It's just life's easier that way. So Nathan Pyle, you are correct. I will always agree with that one. Hyper Bitcoinization is happening in real time. We are watching it. As more and more people talk about Bitcoin, more and more people, more and more countries are, you know, their governments are talking about it. Big Fortune 500 companies talk about it. You know, they might try to dismiss it, but it keeps coming back into the conversation. So you can tell they are afraid of it at the same time. And talking about shitcoin mining, here we got something that might help out with yo, what up, Goblin Dude? Might help out with the proof of useful work that will be coming out with Flux. I'm wondering if this might actually hit the processing speeds that they need, because this newer Intel launched Xeon, which will be the W3400 and the 2400 workstation CPUs with up to 56 cores and 112 PCIe Gen 5 lanes and 8-channel DDR5 memory support. So we're talking about a good, fast solution that could be competitor to the Threadripper lineup. So like the Threadripper Pro, this will be able to throw some blows at it, especially with 112 PCIe Gen 5 lanes that it supports, guys. So with the proof of useful work, you're going to need CPU, RAM, memory, and GPU, and they need to all be there. I believe they've already kind of come out with their specs, but like I'm curious to see if this might be able to be utilized with the proof of useful work. It's just curiosity. I'm a hardware guy. Here's one of the motherboards that supports this thing. So, it's like you see the motherboard for this, and you're like, this is a complete workstation motherboard. I like that. It will allow you to slot in workstation style GPUs on here, put it into a blower case into it. So I mean, it's got all the same solutions of a standard a standard motherboard, but more onto the professional side of things. And this should have the capabilities to run proof of useful work. I don't see why not at this point, because it's all newer modern gear. It's just a matter of the software being integrated to be able to use the Intel side of it, and if it's optimized enough to be able to use the consumer side of a workstation setup, because this isn't going to be for your data center side where you would see it in server blades. This would be for a small business, for them to be able to have their own their own little hosted software that they host locally. They're going to use something like this, whether it's going to be like a repair shop running multiple terminals for the mechanics to be able to access computers, to be able to look up service manuals, look up schematics or something like that. They're going to have multiple ports running into this, or you're going to have multiple kiosks going into this for payment structures. So like something like this is going to have, for the smaller mom and pop shops, but I'm going to be curious to see if this actually it looks like it should have the performance to be able to run the proof of useful work coming out on Flux here. So if anybody's wanting to participate in this potentially might be a solution going for you guys. You've been gaming on the Twitchies lately. Noise, Goblin. Noise. So if any of you guys are like looking into it and wanting to get involved with this, it looks pretty cool. And then they've got this this one kind of tickled my fancy. All right, this one got me going. Like, I can see usefulness even with what I have right here. I'd love to have this card. Takes PCIe power to run this card, and it will allow you to run 4 M.2s up to PCIe Gen 5 speeds. Doesn't mean you got to put PCIe Gen 5 memory into here. It just means that it supports it. And it's got its own little radiator block in here. It's got its own little cooling fans built into it. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of nifty. I like this. What up, Patrick? What up, Patrick? This actually interests me. And now for people who are doing the Chia mining, right? Also on top of this, people who are doing Chia mining might actually benefit from utilizing something like this, a data center solution, cooling for your M.2 memory for your plotting and stuff. I mean, I've never done it before, so excuse my ignorance if you guys are using spinning disks at all and you're using M.2 for one. It's like I hear people doing M.2s for one aspect and the spinning disks for the storage side of it. I'm not going to pretend like I know what's going on with that. But something like this could be, I would see it if it's on all the time and if it's using wattage, it's generating heat. And if it's generating heat, heat's going to kill M.2s. or anything else that's moving, right? Anything that's moving 24/7 is going to eventually die out. All moving parts die. It's not a matter if, it is when, right? So with that aspect, you want to keep all the equipment in the top performance, so that you're not putting any extra stress on there than it really needs to be. So if something like this can be benefited with cooling, this might be a solution for those of you who are Chia mining. So stop yelling at me, kitty. I got the Pepes yelling at me down here, going, pet me or play string with me. Spoiled little cats. I swear to God, if anybody wanted to sit there and tell me that cats are independent, they haven't met mine. I'm just gonna say. And every time I see this one product come out, I laugh every single time, guys. So this is the Gigabyte gaming box, now equipped with a 40 series GPU. So if you have a small form factor computer, or if you've got a laptop that you can pipe over to a larger screen, this might be a product for you, right? To me, it's completely ridiculous to be using this. That's just my take on this. I could understand for somebody who's got a small form factor build that they could benefit from an upscaling. But if they've got a small form factor build, they're not going to want to put another brick next to the area. Maybe they've only got that amount of area, right? Granted, it's the Aorus water blocked edition, so it's a water blocked 40 series GPU. Now, I've seen that Linus Tech Tips play around with this, and the first thing that he noticed is that there was a little bit of latency on it. Not huge leaps and bounds. I mean, it is usable, but there's a little bit of latency, a little bit of stuttering, because it's got to basically output all the video, and it has to be passed through to this GPU, and then the GPU gets passed out from there, right? So you're going to get an upscaling from it, cool, all that nice nifty stuff. But I'm not really big on having a separate out of the PC, connection. I mean, we all know that the fastest thing is for a GPU is going to be plugged into the motherboard, so it can directly communicate to the CPU with the shortest amount of wires. As soon as you start piping it through on these little gaming boxes, you lose me on that. It's like I would never even go after this. Now, if they're talking about for mining, if it was like a super cheap price for it, I might be down on that, right? I could be completely down. If it was for the right price. A 4090 for an extra $100. But that's not going to be the case. It's going to be a 4090 price plus the premium of them manufacturing and putting in a standard. I wouldn't even say standard. I'm just going to say it as a custom water loop system inside of this nice little case. That's all it is at the end of the day. With its own independent power supply for the GPU and all the cooling mechanisms. So the fans that are in there, the pump in there, all of that's going to be controlled off the one power supply. So you're paying for a power supply, a GPU, a case, and a custom water loop. That's going to come with a big premium. I don't see any. I don't know anybody that I know that would be interested in a product like this. I mean, if you guys know, let me know in the comments or in the comments down below. If you guys know anybody that's like who is the customer on something like this? Like I said, I just don't know who the customer is. Who would benefit from having latency on a 4090 that they couldn't just slot into their own computer that they already have outside of a laptop user. If this is for the laptop user, I would be like, if you're going to spend that amount of money on all of that solution, why not have a full-on standard tower and have your laptop still? It's like your price point is going to be so comparable, in my opinion. I mean, let me know. What's your ideas on that? Let me know in the comments down below. What's up, the Deadwood? What's going on, my dude? So I mean, it's like, it's got like a nice amount of connections on there. DisplayPort, HDMI. This is directly off the GPU itself. You got a reboot button here. It looks like you've got some USB 3.0 or 3.0, like 3.0 in here. A purpose-built Aorus 4090 game box GPU, GPU and custom water loop and whatever else they've got running in here. Power supply. It's got a Thunderbolt connection. So that Thunderbolt connection, it would be the only thing that would make sense on this. It would be running this with like a Mac laptop. This way you can take advantage of a Thunderbolt connection and have the lowest latency. Because, I mean, let's be honest, you already bought an Apple product. What's another $3,000 at this point to make your Apple product so much better? I don't understand Apple product users either. Apple abuses them, and they keep buying the next generation. It blows my mind. It truly does. And if you guys are Need for Speed fanatics, I like the game, but I'm not a fanatic on there. But this is pretty cool. It's got a Need for Speed Unbound has made a backplate for the GPU, guys. So it's not covering up the pass-through fan. That's what's at the end here. So this one's blowing up at your CPU, right? So this one pushes all that hot air at your CPU so that your air cooler gets nailed with all of that extra heat on there. I know it's an amazing design that NVIDIA has come out with on this. And I've played around with this, and I've done testing with mining with these pass-through fans like this, guys, and they do make a difference on the card behind it. I put this card in front of each one of my GPUs. I've got a 3080 Founders Edition, and I put it in front of each one of my other 3080s non-Founders Editions, and each one of them would start thermal throttling if we got behind this bad boy. Eventually, I had to stick it on the end of the rig, and I'm like, okay, you are no longer allowed to breathe on the next card. You suck, sir. What up, Tech Man? What's going on up in here? It's like, how's it, home brews? Not too bad, guys. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it is just a backplate, guys. And it looks like it's got its own RGB setup on there, so it lights up and everything too. It's like, I got you, Tech Man. Like, I had to like reread it a couple of times. I was like, I bet you he meant to put down home brews. So I mean, this would be the standard look on it, guys. And then oh, bam, you got this that can go onto the backside of this. I think it looks pretty cool, but I don't know if I would want to pay for a backplate that looks like this. Even if it lit up, the Founders Editions don't have placements for plugging in power. It's not like some of the older GPUs where you can plug in the the case fans into your GPU and your GPU would control your case fans. Or you can plug in some, your case into RGB and everything would be controlled through. I know they take a lot of stuff away on these new Founders Editions. Took everything away, which is kind of crappy, but whatever. It is what it is. We can't control this. It's out of our hands, But for any of you guys that are Need for Speed fans, this is it. It's like everybody show up Friday night EVGA stream, last one. Oh no. Say it ain't so, dude. Oh man, say it ain't so. Man, I hope not. They are redoing stuff. Oh. Womp womp. That sucks. So, moving right along, guys. Check this out. U.S. lawmakers reintroduce bill to remove roadblocks for crypto investments and retirement accounts, guys. I'm like kind of glad that these retirement accounts cannot play with people's money like that. I don't want them to be able to do this. I hope that there is a lot of pushback on this being put in the legislation. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville has reintroduced legislation aiming to allow U.S. 401k retirement plans to include exposures to cryptocurrencies. They're going to be putting it into non-Bitcoin, and they're going to watch a lot of retirees get screwed because I like these people are going to be gambling in the shitcoin market. If they are not being told that they can only invest into Bitcoin and their only exposure is allowed is in Bitcoin, they need to, and even with Bitcoin, I would sit there and say that the market is too volatile to somebody's 401k. 401ks already get raped by the U.S. government. This would be just another way for somebody to be able to offload onto unsuspecting people who don't even participate in the market to be ripped off because of somebody's ignorance that they want to be able, because he might be a bag holder of X coin, whatever the hell it is, and he wants a 401k to be able to invest into it, or some 401k, a financial planner has convinced this guy through lobbying and going, oh, we've got a guaranteed plan. We can outpace the market guaranteed. And it's like, there is no guarantees, any more of a guarantee in cryptocurrency than there is in the stock market. Because cryptocurrency and the stock market are one and the same thing. Bitcoin's over in another, is in another building. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin's over here, cryptocurrencies are all over here. Cryptocurrencies and stock markets are all scams. They're all Ponzi scams of some flavor, and I just cannot get behind them all. I just can't. And to see that there's a governor, a senator, trying to introduce legislation allowing this, is either showing his ignorance, or showing that he's got an exposure that he would like to be able to dump off on an unexpected fool. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, I could be wrong. Fillet me in the comments down below all you want. I encourage it. Nancy Pelosi going Senator Tuberville, a Republican, plans to reintroduce the Financial Freedoms Act. It aims to stop the debt of labor from rising, restricting individuals from investing their 401ks in the crypto. Every American should have the right to invest their retirement money how they see fit. And that much I 100% agree with. If somebody does not want to sit there and have any crypto exposure, they should not be forced into it. I think that's a wrong way of going about it. I would sit there and say that they can make it an option and that they have to opt into it. If they don't opt into it, then they don't have to worry about the exposure of Bitcoin to their portfolio. They need to have that separation. From that standpoint, I don't have so much of an issue. But if it's from, somebody going, oh my God, my shitcoin's is up 35% today. You got to make this legislation. People are going to hate you if they find out that they missed out on all of this in their 401k, blah, 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 blah. And for whatever it may be, I think that this is just a fool trying to introduce legislation out there that I don't think is in the right direction. Like Golden Wolf, F parking garage is on fire. My car's inside. Right? This is a dumpster fire waiting to happen. It's like, I hope people don't have their stuff in 401ks, guys, because that stuff is being grossly mismanaged. And if you found out what the fluff was being put into your 401k, you'd be quite irritated. And understanding of why your 401k doesn't grow. Usually get exposure into things that are like complete garbage. But I was like, Golden Wolf, get it out of there. It's like, man, if your parking garage is on fire and your car is in there, hope that your insurance is good. Hope the insurance is good. That's all you can hope for. So, yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be interesting in how this is gonna go about. I hope that they kind of push back on it. Outside of it's just an option. Now, if it's just being given as an option for a particular person to have exposure or not to, and they get to choose that it's Bitcoin and not altcoins, I can get behind this a little bit. Outside of that, if it's just bundled up, oh, you get crypto exposure. Well, what if that person knows about crypto and they're like, I don't want to have any exposure to Ethereum. I don't want to have exposure to XRP. I don't want to have exposure to Cardano. You see what I'm talking about, right? So, I mean, this is going to be problematic. I know, right, dude? Golden Wolf, dude, is... Techman, people in Ohio, yeah, people are probably going to have to move. It's like, Golden Wolf, I just got my GPU risers are in the car. Oh, no. Save them! Run! I thought you were just joking around. You're serious. Man, I, I, I hope that Prod Bites. What year did you first discover crypto, and what got you into mining? That's a valid question, my dude. I got in right towards the end of 2017, going into 2018, where I was doing all of my research. I watched the market bottom out at 3,200. And during that first period of time, and believe it or not, it was my wife that got me involved. Her son talked about it in like 2010. I was like, oh, whatever, internet funny money. Right, whatever. I don't need it. And then my wife tells me to check out Bitcoin in 2017. And I started doing research, and down the freaking rabbit hole I went. And I did basically a 4-year deep dive analytics, and basically crash coursed myself into economics from the business standpoint, from a businessman standpoint. I crash coursed myself in economics. To kind of have a better understanding of what I was looking at. Played around in the altcoin market for a little while, and then came across somebody who was like, you can legally print money. And I was like, okay, you have my attention, keep speaking. And they're like, you can set up computer equipment and sit there and do the validations and print money legally. I was like, where do I start making this legal money? And it was just kind of down the rabbit hole from there. Goblin Dude, do you have the Saif Dean book, The Bitcoin Standard? No, I do not. I do have Bitcoin Jay-Z book, Bitcoin in Black America. I have his book. I was thinking about his book is on my list to grab. But no, I do not have it as of yet. His outlook, Saif Dean's and Morris, his outlook on crypto is spot freaking on. I listen to his podcast all the time. Him and a bunch of other true blue Bitcoiners. But going back to Prod Bites, but I got into mining pretty early on after getting into crypto too. So, I mean, it's like, I want to say March-ish or something like that of 2018, I started mining. I put together it's pretty much right when I started this channel. When I started this channel, I had started building my first rig. Or it was, no, I'm sorry. It was right after my first rig was built. I started this channel. And it was to more document my journey through crypto, and it's kind of morphed into this. Like walking the dog with my laptop. Nice. Tuckman, how you set a concrete parking garage ablaze. No problem, Protobites. No problem. And now at this point, Protobites, I'm putting together a Bitcoin mining facility in Oklahoma, where we're securing. We're in the process of waiting for the electric company to come back with a contract with us, and we're securing a 0.5 megawatt worth of power. So 500 kVA. 240 volt. Be absolutely amazing. Yeah, my dude. And if you mind, we also do hosting. So if you're wanting to, if you're a miner yourself and you're kind of getting muscled out of the market because you pay too much at electric rate, well, we can help you out over at the Family Mine, where we can offer you 9 cents a kilowatt hour. It's $5 a month to be on the shelf. We need it to be in a server case. If you don't have one, we can help provide one for you. We have connections for higher end server cases down to cheaper options that you can either purchase from us or you can rent the cheaper options directly from us. And then, of course, if there's any kind of major maintenance that needs to be done, there'll be, charges for stuff like that. But, we're real, between me and Mikkel, we are super reasonable on our rates and all that good stuff. You burn a parking garage with a Tesla. That, bro, is a fact. that there be a fact. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we'll have a half a megawatt worth of power. So if you're a miner, and you would like to send your gear over to us, we could certainly do that. If you want to guarantee a slot in the Family Mine to make sure that you have shelf space for your gear, shameless plug, Patreon links down below. Get into the pseudo hasher tier, and there are perks with that. Outside of, you are guaranteed to be the first people to have VIP access to have your rig sent to us. And we are going through everything right now to get that to move forward. And we want it to be community driven. That's why my prices on everything is not through the roof. I want it to be a very much a community driven project. I mean, yes, eventually I'll be transferring over into a pure ASIC focus myself, just because it makes sense long term. But at the same time, doesn't mean I can't help all of you awesome people on the way. What up, Big Rome? It's like, damn, time flies. I remember when you first started. Yeah, Big Rome, you are one of the OGs in the fam here. Yo, that is true. There are also Porsches, Beamers, Lamborghinis. Wow, yeah. Damn. You in an upscale freaking garage. Damn. But yeah, so I mean, we'll be getting all that together, and me and Mikkel will be able to help all of you guys out. So I'm Tech Man. I'm at 16 kilowatt hours, not 16 cents a kilowatt hour. Bro, we can charge you 9 cents a kilowatt hour. Just saying. I mean, you would go further than sitting there trying to set up a lot of solar. Solar's not very cost effective, nor is it sustainable long term. I know a few people who mess around with it, and not with mining at a bigger scale, but at a small scale, you're probably fine for a small you set up. But if you ever want to add to it, you're going to start breaking stuff. Like I still have my my man-powered bicycle. I'm baller. Hell yeah. Yes, I am, Jason. I still am mining with my E3s. It's like, Tech Man, I will run the math. Run the math, but do some of their, you need to look into longevity of panels. at, let's say, 75% utilization, right? 75% to 80% utilization. How long does each panel have a life cycle of? Because that's what you're going to burn them out at, is that constant usage. And I understand your small fries. I understand, which means that you're going to want to sit there and have enough panels that your usage of mining on the panels, it will equate to probably about 40% utilization will be from mining, no more, because at least this way you're not going to be pulling high demand off of the panels, and then know that you have to, and have it where it's grid tied. This way, whenever it turns into nighttime, you switch over back onto the grid and pull power, and it's seamless. There's pros and cons with scaling with solar, because I'm in an area where it's like I'm like 11.2 cents a kilowatt hour with taxes, line fees, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like, for the amount of real estate that you have to give up for solar panels is some of the reason why I just, from a mining perspective, it just didn't make sense. If I was trying to make my stuff off grid, or I lived out in the boondocks, I probably would think about it, where I had more property to be able to set up solar, and I could sit there and set up a baller solar array for myself, but know that it just takes up so much room to sit there and get the capacity that I would want, even when I was running what I had in my room. And what I was running in my room was only 60 amps at 240 volt. Like, I don't want to pay them. They charge me 16 cents, and I make 3 kilowatt an hour as well. So just use it for sure. I mean, if you already got it, use it. Yeah, see how much you can run on there, but keep a close eye that you don't put too much overcapacity on there. Did anyone here know that solar panels were used in the late 1800s? They had forms of it. It's not like the solar panels we know today. That was like the beginning science on what modern solar panels use today. That much I will agree with. They were nowhere near the capacity to be able to actually run it the right way. 1800s were a great year for a lot of inventing. I was like, the 1800s was like the father of invention. It's like, no, they pay me 3 cents if I grid tie. Yeah. You need to look at how they have that, because in Illinois, they will give me 3 if I grid tie a solar panel system here in Illinois. This is the big reason why I said no. Is that they would give me 3 cents a kilowatt hour discount on my bill. So instead of being charged 11 cents, right, I'm getting charged 8 cents. That's how they were going to do it here in Illinois. And you can't disconnect off the grid. And because like as soon as you pull power off of your house becomes inhabitable in Illinois. You have to have two things in your house. Well, yeah, two things in your house. You have to have a working toilet, a working bathroom, and electricity. Otherwise, it's considered a homestead. He's like, I named one of your kids after James Clerk Maxwell of the 1800s for the win. That's really cool. That is really cool. I love it. That is so cool, Sadie. That there is I love that. Need people that actually continue the thought pattern of history because it helps you push forward. Bro, I hate crooked noise so badly. Crooked noise sucks so much. Crooked noise allows monopolies, and the monopolies know that they're the monopolies, and they take full advantage of it. And check this out. This one is like one of those you laugh about it, and then it scares the shit out of you at the same time. European Union discusses using zero-knowledge proofs for digital IDs. The proposition to use zero-knowledge proofs was approved by the EU committee and may be part of the updated legislation. Guess what, guys? That's your movement pass. You want to know how you track your entire population in real time? Now they have to have this app on there that carries this zero knowledge proof digital ID that's encrypted on your phone at all times. Well, guess what? Anybody using that program is now being tracked in real time because they had the KYC in order to get it. This is a scary, dystopian, nightmarish future if they actually go through with this. This right here is absolutely nuts. The European Union is famous for its ambient relationship with privacy. True. And that's why you would use zero knowledge proofs. On one hand, it was the first place in the world to apply strict data protection regulations. True. On the other, it's a central bank digital currency (CBDC) project lacking it lacks being anonymous and use of standards of privacy of cryptocurrencies. So the CBDC is centrally controlled and totally tracked in real time. To utilize a digital ID in the same fashion means that they're going to be able to directly track your phone. Anywhere your phone goes, they're going to know it's you moving around. Just give them white noise. Michelle is Michelle. Michael, right? Or Hillary is Killary. Yeah. So the new EID would allow its citizens to identify and authenticate themselves online via a European digital identity wallet. See, there you go. That right there, this part, via a European digital identity wallet. There is your tracking program in real time. I do not care how private your ID itself is. They are going to be able to deny you movement. That means if they want to sit there and arrest you, they know where you are with this ID locked into your phone. If they sit there and think that you're a criminal, they come after you. They don't have to wait. They just wait for you to get to a place where they feel like picking you up at. So I mean, this is like no different than them sitting there wanting to chip you guys, you know. So now they're gonna make you chip yourself because your phone is already something that you bring with you everywhere. And there are fools already that sit there and use their phone as a payment structure. They link in their phone to be able to make the payments for them. Apple Pay, all of that. Those are going to be the people that are going, yeah, I'll take that digital ID. I don't have anything to worry about. The government already knows who I am. But are you okay with them knowing where you're standing at all times? And a lot of them will be like, yeah, I got nothing to hide. I don't really care. These are the sheep that's going to bring the system, allowing this system to come forth. Because there's going to be the sheep that will just mindlessly use this technology because they're like, oh, it just makes my life easier. I don't care. And then you're going to have the rest of us going, yeah, this is an issue. This breaks all privacy protocols, period. Especially since now we're utilizing their own identity wallet, which is going to be what tracks you in Europe. This is going to be part of that one world order stuff of, every government's going to be able to track you in real time. We're all going to have a digital credit score, all this stuff. It's going to get bad, I think. And if it passes in Europe, it's not too far before they try something like this in the United States. So everybody, bring this up to everybody and start saying that you do not want this. I do not care if it's built on blockchain technology. This is one solution that it's not needed in. Because of the fact that it's a solution that it's going to be something that the government directly controls. No. Nathan Pyle, Monero. You know it, buddy. If I need privacy by nature, I'll use Monero. So zero knowledge proofs have recently been at the center of researchers' attention as a possible means to ensure regulatory compliance and privacy in digital currencies. No, I'm not going to sit there and say that, because if it has anything to do with the government, it's not going to be privacy by nature. Because there's going to be data that's going to be shared between your phone, in your ID wallet, and the government. And that alone breaks the privacy end of it. Oh my God, yes, Goblin. Ronald Reagan said it best. The top 9 terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Yeah, you don't want to ever hear that. That is not help. That means you are being enslaved, and you haven't realized how yet. And by the time you've been enslaved, you're going to be asking for another heaping serving of it, guys. So I tell everybody all the time, be careful, be frosty out there. When it comes down to this, fight this system. This is part of the top-down authoritarian control that they've put down on China. China is in an ever amount of lockdowns due to COVID. Their plan is zero COVID outbreak. So they have been since COVID outbreak, they have been in a perpetual state of lockdowns. Do you want to be part of that economy where you as a citizen have to worry about being locked down or arrested because you said something against the government, or X, Y, and Z happened in your area and your city gets locked down? This is good. This is like the dystopian nightmare, and it sounds stupid. It comes with the government changing something as simple as going to a digital ID so it can track its citizens in real time. China already does this. They've put cameras all over China. They track every citizen as they are walking through the street in real time, guys. This is reality. And if they pass this in Europe, people are going to be forced to put that same tracking software onto their phone. I'm not big on this. I will take my standard ID. Thank you very much. What up, Budweiser? I gotta use Graphene OS to help with the tracking for sure. I haven't played around with Graphene OS yet. So we are at that 1 hour marker, guys. So do you got any of you awesome people out there have any comments or questions? If you don't have any comments or questions, certainly drop some FAs in the Chizity chat, guys. Yo, drop those FAs in the chat because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo. And thank you for the new people that have been sitting here chit-chatting. Nathan being a new person up in here. Protobytes, you guys are awesome. Thank you for popping on in, asking some awesome questions, adding to the conversation. Just in time for the end. Yes, sir. I am sorry, my dude, to disappoint Budweiser. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Goblin, much love. Stay private and have a great evening. Stay humble and stack sats. Yes, sir. And everybody, certainly smash that lizardy like button before you exit out of here. Like, Nam, would you mind if I recommend your Twitch account on my... No, not at all, my dude. Not at all, Goblin. Any projects soon? Well, the project is right now it's Project Power. We need more power at the facility. So one project at a time. So our big project right now is putting in 500 kVA into the facility and getting all of you awesome people mining with us at the facility, guys. Yo. Because those who mine together will mine more profitably longer. Yo. So, I mean, that's pretty much the project. It's Project Power right now. So, any further projects, haven't gotten that far. One step at a time. Our big thing is 500 kVA, half a megawatt. And then the next step, I guess, would be to fill it up. So, I mean, that would be the next project is Project Fill Up the Facility. And it's going to take all of you awesome people involved with that. Yo! 100%. These are facts. Hit you in the Discord soon. For sure, Big Rome. 100%, my dude. 100%. Hit me up anytime. You guys know that my Discord is always open for a chit-chat, questions, and all that stuff. I'll never ask you for money. Never ask you for trading advice. Any of that stuff. But if you got questions, hit me up. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Peace out. Stay savage. And may your watts be low and your hash be high. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo!